Joe Biden one of the worst presidents in the history of the United States. Since his disastrous debate performance on June 27th against President Donald Trump, the floodgates have opened. And with Jake Tapper's new book just releasing, we're learning the details of what will become one of the biggest scandals in this country's history. The stories keep getting worse and worse. Every day now, we learn some new disgusting information that helps us understand the reason our country was in the position it was in. Lies and deception was the name of Joe Biden's presidency, and the willingness of the Democratic establishment to cover this up sets a terrifying precedent. Right now, the Democrat Party is full of globalist ideologues, not interested in making America better for their constituents, but for pushing their agenda and maintaining power. If Joe Biden had never stepped on that debate stage and we never got to see the decline of a once sharp and witty politician, would he have been allowed to run? Did the Democratic National Committee finally bend a knee once they realized they had taken this too far? And why was the party so focused on Joe Biden as opposed to the other candidates that could have ran?
Over the past couple of weeks, I've spent a good bit of time with Joe Biden. I've spent a couple of hours with Joe Biden, sitting, talking, going around the world as far as talking issues, talking the economy, talking inflation. And I must say, when I was talking to him, my thought wasn't, oh, poor guy. My thought was, oh, my God. I wish Dr. Brzezinski were on the other side of the table right now, because these two guys, 50 years of experience, and Joe Biden hasn't forgotten it. He may get pissed off at a press conference, and he may be thinking about the Mexican border deal and say Mexico instead of Egypt. He knows what he's talking about. He circles back around, gets to Egypt. He might misplace a word here and there, but you talk to him for hours at a time. Is he slower? Does he move slower?
Is it okay for us to finally acknowledge that this is weird? Despite that, what this guy is talking about has since been proven false. Biden wasn't all there. He didn't know what he was talking about. Regardless of that, Joe Biden was essentially interviewing for the job of the President of the United States, the most high-profile, high-stress job in the world. There is nothing else like it. And we had journalists on television trying to convince us that he was okay despite being a deeply flawed candidate. What happened to the political system? Why does the DNC control everything to the point where people on the Democratic side have to make excuses for their own candidate who they chose? You don't want a guy that is half of what he used to be. Just find me the best candidate.
I want to say this is... And I don't really, you know what? I don't really care. Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever.
What I find extremely disturbing about this whole situation is how the Democratic Party for the last 4 years has told you to not believe what you are seeing with your eyes, but to believe the experts. We heard it during the pandemic. It was believe the experts. You are denying science if you don't 100% subscribe to everything a doctor tells you. Then it was appeal to authority when it came to Joe Biden, like you saw in this clip. Well, I have sat down with Joe Biden, and this is the best version of him there has ever been. Despite what we are seeing with our own eyes telling us the exact opposite. There is a large rift between the experts and the American people because we saw them turn their backs on conventional knowledge repeatedly to push the candidate they believed in. Let's take a look at major economists during the Biden administration. When he proposed a bill to raise the minimum wage to $15, conventional knowledge would tell you that a move like that would cost the low-skilled workers and teenagers their job. If a company or organization has to raise their payroll, they can afford to keep less people staffed. But researchers at UC Berkeley tried to gaslight people into throwing out any semblance of original thought. And just believe what they say, because they have no ulterior motives, right? Trust is at an all-time low with the American political system. It's a shame the way it's been trending, and it doesn't look to be getting any better. That's why we're starting this series. We will be documenting all of the information released about this scandal. The truth will be exposed, whether they like it or not. People need to be held accountable for this. The entire Democratic Party was complicit in this cover-up effort. The out-of-touch leaders of the DNC need to understand the damage that they have done. With the midterm elections coming up next year, you need to make sure your voice is heard and that every person complicit in this scandal is removed from any position of power.